Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition, stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion? Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die.
And we are here. I want to first start off in the most holy name of Allah, bearing witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. I would like to greet you in the beautiful greeting words of peace in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, ma'am.
Listen, that just simply means peace be unto you. And listen, Eid Mubarak. I'm still practicing it. I'm telling you, this it's a thing.
The whole month is gonna be
and happy Savior's Day.
And happy Savior's Day.
Every day is a Savior's Day. What you talking?
Every day is Savior's Day. Listen, I do not want to. I repeat, do not want to belabor the point. The point is, we got a show for you.
Woo.
So,
and it's your show. What do we do when it's your show, Sister Khalifa? Your show.
You share.
You copy and paste the URL and send it to your friends, family, whoever you can.
That's right.
So they can
that's
benefit from this beautiful and awesome program.
Absolutely. And with that being said, hey,
Jamil.
First of all, I want to thank everyone for emailing us. I mean, these emails have been pouring in. Like, hey, where's that courtship manual? I have learned things on here that I have never, ever heard of. And I've been in the nation for this. I mean, we had people requesting the courtship manual from London, from Brazil. I just got a text from Brazil, email from Brazil. And she said she's going to share the entire courtship manual with the study group in Brazil. So this thing is hot. And not only that, I just want to also too, we're going to have a tribute game that's going to be, Brother Tony, not this week, but next week, right? I think so, but we're gonna have a tribute game. The tribute game is gonna be
coming up.
Listen, the tribute game, right? The tribute game is gonna be a part of that courtship manual. So whoever wants to get that courtship manual, please send me your email. I will send it back to you, and it will be quick, fast, and in a hurry. And the thing is, whoever wins gets a copy of.
What are they gonna get, Khalifa?
Tell them what they want.
The light is
oh no!
Katrina has it on there. A book written by our beloved sister Katrina.
Oh my God!
Listen. Oh, courtship manual. What? See, I'm telling you.
Brother Kokai, you need a copy of that.
Kokai, you got to send me your email so I can send it to you. Yes. So praises be to Allah. I don't want to belabor the point.
Yes. Let's get that. Yes.
Brother Tony, the floor is yours.
Beloved family, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the one God to whom holy praises are forever due, the Lord of the world who came in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad, the Supreme Being, to whom holy praises are forever due, I am forever thankful to Almighty God Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I thank them both for the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you. Abaragani, Hotep, Frida Sakpase, Buenas noches, greetings and all the beautiful greetings that our people greet each other in. And it,
yes,
of course, in Arabic, as Sister Kalila just mentioned right now, it means peace be unto you, which is the most beautiful, most awesome prayer that we can bestow on anyone. Welcome to your Thursday Night Talks, which is spearheaded by the 7th Region Coalition to Help Save Lives. 7th Region Coalition to Help Save Lives was organized by our Student Regional Minister, Student Minister Patrick Muhammad, back in after July 4th, 2020, after the criterion message of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We were assembled to dispel falsehood and to bring in truth, to guide our people to safe waters in the midst of so much sea of confusion. At that time, we were wrestling with the whole idea of vaccinations and misinformation. Well, guess what? We're still dealing with a pandemic today of misinformation, confusion. We're just trying to get it right, and we're trying to get our people right. We have a special relationship series to teach us the proper way of how to conduct ourselves in relationships, how to pursue relationships, what are the best type of relationships that we can establish with one another. Tonight, we are talking about the very special way in which members of the Nation of Islam, which is not limited to us, beloved family, but we extend this proposal that all of us should be engaged in courtship rather than dating and other ways of getting to know one another, so that we could do things right, do things in a way that God is pleased with in terms of meeting one another and engaging in one another and finding out if we have found our best match, our most perfect match for us. So tonight's program is focused on, of course, we always broadcast it through the 9 ministries, but tonight the ministry that we're focusing on specifically, these ministries were given to us by the Honorable Minister Farrakhan back in 2005. The ministry we're focusing on tonight is the head ministry, which is the ministry of spiritual development, because it lays the base to everything that we do. This ministry bears responsibility for assisting the individual member of the community in the process of heeding truth and right guidance. Respect, honor, and obedience to the authority of the Creator in all aspects of life are essential to peace, harmony, freedom, justice, and equality. In the words of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, self-development is an absolutely essential component of the microcosm of the new world. It is not enough that we grow horizontally through the acquisition of farms, factories, banks, industry, trade, commerce, money, good homes. Horizontal growth alone is death. All dead things are on a horizontal level. Therefore, we must grow vertically, grow in uprightness, or we will be overcome by our horizontal growth. The foundation of this ministry are study and training units designed on the guidance of Allah God to produce self-examination, self-analysis, self-correction, and to quicken in each and every one of us the self-accusing spirit. For it's only when we are awakened morally that we have to face the self-accusing spirit that leads to our resurrection. Introducing our guest tonight will be Brother Mark. And so I will pass it over to you, beloved brother.
Thank you, Brother Tony. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, sir.
Salam, sir.
Okay, thank you. Oh, it is such an honor for me to introduce my dear sister who I know very well. So let me get on with it. Sister Ati Hamid Cushmeer was born and raised in the Nation of Islam, where she has held numerous posts since the age of 14. Sister Ati brings years of practical work with youth and families of various backgrounds through her work at family agencies, community-based organizations, and the legal system as a former employee of the Atlanta Fulton County Juvenile Court. She is a trained mediator with direct experience in supporting youth who were trafficked and in gangs. She has worked in politics, including serving on the executive staff for a former congresswoman, and is skilled in program development, evaluation, and strategic planning. She has a passion for the arts, dance, acting, painting, also research, poetry, writing, travel, fitness, and fashion. In 2004, with the blessings and support of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Sister Ati organized the Nation of Islam Singles Retreats and launched the Healthy Relationships Initiative, Incorporated, with a team of wonderful Fruit of Islam, that was one of them, and MGT volunteers. The purpose of the Healthy Relationship Initiative is to strengthen family and relationships among youth, adults, and seniors. She and the team have convened annual retreats, webinars, and the Family Summit Conference, all centered around strengthening our families while emphasizing personal wellness. Future plans involve relaunching the retreats. What? And the Family Summit to serve our people. Sister Ati currently serves as Student Protocol Director of Austin's Muhammad Mosque number 64. Let's bring on to our program, Thursday Night Talks, Sister Ati, our dear sister, my sister. Bring her on.
There she is.
And I think she would like to share a few words with us. So, Sister Ati, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Assalamu alaikum, sister.
I would first like to start in the most holy name of Allah, who came to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and in the name of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I greet my brothers and sisters in the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, man.
Walaikum salam, ma'am.
And I would like to thank all of our hosts for inviting me to be on the show. Believe me, it's my honor to be here with you. And I was in between computers. I was switching from my cell phone to my laptop. So at some point, I'll probably make the switch. But I would say just a few words about family. One of the things that's been on my mind that I wanted to share with y'all.
Oh.
No.
I think she might be making the switch. Man, just what I want to hear.
Yes, when she said the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
I was on the edge of my seat. I was on the edge of my seat.
Me too.
So she's gonna make the switch.
She's gonna come back.
She'll be back in just a moment.
Praise be to Allah.
With that being said, for those of you who are still interested in the courtship manual, please email us at 7th Region Coalition@gmail.com. I'm actually going to put it in the text here. So
you got it, Kalila.
Yeah,
yes,
I think I see it scrolling.
Yeah.
Can we give a shout out to those who are listening? I've been writing down some names, nothing but the truth. Student Minister Jamil, Sister
yes.
Brother Jamil, Sister LaShawn, Sister Farah, Sister Melody, Sister Zora, Sister
really, Father.
Lucina, Brother Michael, Brother Rashad. Thank you to all of those who are listening and tuned in and sending the link to their friends right now so that they can tune in. And thank you to those who are donating. Of course, you know everything costs money, so please make sure you subscribe and donate. You see, Sister Kalila was so organized. She put it at the bottom of the scroll for you, so you don't even have to, look for it.
Oh, Sister Felicia. Well, like salam.
Yeah. Felicia.
She is officially a 7th Region Coalition OG.
That's
Love
right.
that.
We're gonna scoop her back up. You ain't done with you, Sister Felicia. You're gonna be back soon.
Oh yeah.
It ain't goodbye. It ain't goodbye, Felicia. It's assalamu alaikum, Felicia.
Yeah. See you soon.
we ain't getting rid of you like that. You're gonna be back.
Yes, and then also too, for those of you who are tuning in, I think in next 2 weeks, we're going to actually be doing a trivia game, and the trivia will actually be about the courtship manual. I just put court manual. Courtship, it technically is a court manual.
Yeah, you taking them to court.
Taking them to court, right? So courtship manual. And for those of you who are interested in courtship, I think this is an excellent tool to use to get started on your preparation for courtship. I know I have had it in my person. And even if you're married, you can still go to court. I'm telling you, it doesn't stop. Your courtship does not stop when you get married.
That's right.
Because you're constantly evolving as an individual.
That's right.
And a person, and likewise with your spouse. So you definitely want to make sure that.
I'm sorry, sister. Our guest is back. So could you look for her? She says she's back.
I don't see her image.
Oh, you don't see her?
I see that she's back, but
yeah, she's not.
We need her to be on.
It says she's there with stream audio only. I'm seeing that at the top.
And I can't put her in with stream audio.
We can't bring her in with just stream audio.
Yeah, it wouldn't even allow me.
So she needs to try again with a different device, maybe. Wait a minute, I'm getting another.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, she's okay. So she should log in with
another device, sir.
With another device.
While we're doing that, I'd love to hear from the audience who are tuned in. If you have attended one of Sister AT's courtship events, because she did do them for I don't know how many years. Brother Mark was a part of it. Maybe he can share some insight. But the Healthy Relationship Initiative, if you attended one of those, can you just put a little note message in there to let us know how it was? And we would love to see that and read your responses while we're in the process of waiting. And thank you for your patience, everyone. You know, sometimes technology, right? So thank you so much.
It's
for being
supposed
patient.
to be our friend, but sometimes it
well, I can listen. I can share this,
okay.
and I'll be aging myself, but I can never age. So
you don't have to say no years, no years.
I don't mind. Listen, I don't mind. I think our sister is back on.
She is.
She's trying.
All right.
She is.
Can you hear us, Sister AT?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Yes.
Oh, great.
If we could go back to your opening, beloved.
Okay. Yes, sir. Can you all hear me loud and clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
Great. Yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. Thank you all so much, and thank you for your patience. One of the things that I wanted to share was that, and these are just a few notes that I got from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. This was a few years ago, and we were talking about family. And you know, one of the things that he said was that Allah is interested in building a nation of gods, and I think that's something that we have to keep in the forefront of our minds when we are seeking a court mate, And even those of us who are married, because as I was listening to you all, somebody said, you know, when you're married, courtship doesn't stop. So one of the things that I believe that we need to keep in the forefront of our minds is what Allah's intention and what his aim and his purpose is. And that is to build a nation of gods. And, you know, when we look at the council of 24 scientists and Almighty God, Allah being the 25th, one of the things we have to look at is, suppose you were one of those in that council. Suppose you were married to one of those in that council. What kind of person would we have to be in order to be in that council? Keeping in mind that Almighty God Allah wants to elevate us beyond that. So that really gives us something to strive for. And it all starts in the home, and it all starts as individuals, but it also starts as a family. And that's why we have to be intentional when we are seeking a courtmate. And intentional meaning not just, well, you know, I've been single for a long time, I want to get married, I want to have a family. I mean, that's all good, you know, and that's an excellent start. But I think that we should seek more than just, I want to get married to a good brother or a good sister. I think that we have to elevate our aim and our intention to, I want to get married with the aim and intention of producing a God nation. I want to get married because I know that this brother or this sister can help me achieve my status as a God. And I wanted to just mention that in terms of courtship, because I think that that should be one of the guiding, how do you say it? That should be one of the main guides in terms of our selection of a mate. And we should think about how did Almighty God Allah choose his servants? How does he choose his prophets, his messengers, his divine reminders? What goes into that selection? And one of the things I thought about was, you know, I said, in order to be, say, a wife, for example, of one of the scientists in the 24, the council, that would have to be a person who, for example, knows how to keep secrets. Because if you're talking about a cycle of 25,000 years,
come on.
You can't go among the people and just start talking and saying, you know what, I'm married to so-and-so, and you know, we wrote history in advance, and I'm gonna tell you all what's going on. You can't be that kind of person. So I thought to myself, what kind of person would we have to be if we were in that council? And I think that we should try to strive for that. And that's one of those things is discipline. One of those things is putting ourselves in a certain mind frame. And, you know, coming off of this Ramadan, one of the things that, you know, how you always try to come out with some lesson. One of the things that I came out with in terms of this Ramadan was, I said, you know what kind of state of mind would we have to be in order for revelation to come through us? And I said, you know what? The fasting, the feeding of the poor, all of those things that we do during Ramadan, you know, all of the extra prayers. I mean, everything that goes on in Ramadan, it puts us in a certain frame of mind.
Right.
Yes,
Well, that's the frame of mind that we should always be in, because having a pure mind, a pure heart, those are the things that will help elevate us to be able to choose a mate with the intention of, you know what, I'm going to be a part of producing a nation of gods. So anyway, that's my few words that I just wanted to share. So I will turn it back over to you all. Thank you all so much.
You're welcome. Excellent. Listen, you know, we were just talking about, you know, all of the events that you put on in regards to the courtship, the singles retreat. And I was going to share mine before you got back on. This was in 2007 in one of the Carolinas. I think it was South Carolina.
Black Mountain, North Carolina.
No, she know.
Yes, ma'am.
That court, listen, when I say it was absolutely amazing, because I didn't come out with a courtship, but I came out with friends that right now are my friends to this day forward. And it was such a friendly environment because you actually ushered not only being a brother and being a sister first before you even start the process of even, you know, intertwining in regards to courtship, but we became a family. We were a family for real.
Yeah.
We were getting chased by bears and all kind of stuff. But it was so beautiful, and it was so friendly, and when I say, I don't care if you were so close-minded, you left there with so much will and so much strength and so much determination that you will find your king or queen in the near future. And I thank you for just being the
Praise
OG.
be to Allah.
I mean, and it's I want to use the term OG because the OG is not, it's like original gangster, but no, you're the old goat, right? You're original goat,
Praise be to Allah.
Original God, Sister
the
Kalila.
original god of this thing, the
Praise be
greatest
to
of all
Allah.
time that has put this thing on. So I mean, it's an honor. And it's also a privilege to even have you on our platform.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
with that being said, go ahead, sis.
No, I praise be to Allah. The honor is mine, and I made lifelong friends as well. And I mean, I have to give honor and thanks to the team of believers who've been there, because my father used to always say, you don't do anything alone. You get help when you're born, and you get help when you die. So
Right.
I want to thank all the brothers and sisters who've been helpers throughout this whole thing. Without them, I could not have done it. So I give thanks, and thank you all for your support. But yes, we had some great times. So yes, ma'am.
We did. Yes, we did. And with that being said, what motivated you to take the initiative to help accomplish a safe and comfortable environment for singles to connect with each other?
Okay, yes, ma'am. And let me just say this: my sound is a little low, so I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm going to try and figure it out on my end. But I would say, you know what? I think the main motivation came at that time. I was single. I was, learning just like everybody else about marriage preparation, relationships, just the whole nine. And it really came from a desire to get brothers and sisters to just meet on a friendly basis, just as brothers and sisters, with the aim and intention of hopefully sparking some courtships. But the main thing was to learn about courtship, learn about marriage, learn about family. That was what it was all about. And we started with the organization. It was Healthy Relationships Initiative. And sister, I have to give credit to Sister Dr. Monica Muhammad. She's in California. She was the sister who helped coin that term, initiative. I mean, it all kind of came together. People came with different ideas, but the main idea was really for us to learn about courtship and marriage and family and how to strengthen our relationships. And coming from a background where I remember in the early days of the rebuilding of the Nation of Islam, my father used to have retreats. The believers would go out in the woods and just do some planning and studying, and just having a really good time at it. And so that's where the idea to actually get away from all of the hustle and bustle of just normal everyday life. And, our first retreat was in Prescott, Arizona. It was at a YMCA camp. It was right in the middle of the woods, away from all civilization. And we had a great time. We had a great time without all those cell phones and, all of the obligations.
Right.
Mother Tanetta came to that first one. And may Allah forever be pleased with her. And it was just a really beautiful set. But that was the impetus, because it was to learn about marriage, relationships, courtship. And, even, coming up in the Nation of Islam, growing up in the Nation of Islam, there was a lot about courtship itself that I didn't know about in terms of procedural things. I mean, I knew some of the basic things, but there was a lot of things in between that I just didn't know. So we all learned together, and that's it in a nutshell in terms of how it all came together.
Praise be to Allah. Sister Ati,
Yes.
one common thing that we hear in the Nation of Islam is that we would find our spouse doing the work. From your experience, how true is that statement?
What was that, brother? Can you repeat that question one more time?
Do you need me to say it louder? I know
Yes,
you're
sir.
having some technical difficulties. So one thing that we commonly hear in the Nation of Islam is that we would find our spouse doing the work. From your experience, how true is that statement?
I believe it's much more broader than that. You can find your spouse doing the work, absolutely. And that's one avenue. But I personally, I didn't find my spouse doing the work. My husband, we both grew up in the Nation of Islam together. We knew each other since we were little, and we reconnected later as adults. So, and it was through his family that we reconnected. So, yes, you can find your mate doing the work, and that's nothing wrong with that. But I do think that we should not limit ourselves to just saying you will find your mate doing the work, because I think that there's a lot of other avenues. You can meet your mate at a retreat. You can meet your mate at a social. You can meet your mate at any other number of avenues. So I don't think we should limit ourselves. And I know prior to 75, the elders have taught me, when I interviewed several of our pioneers, and they did a lot of socials. People would have dinner over people's houses. Our house was kind of like that neighborhood house where everybody came to. So I know that growing up in the Nation, I remember distinctly, we had a lot of dinners over our house. And so believers met each other. And of course, there was Tuesday social night, where people would get a chance to meet each other. So yes, you can meet your mate doing the work, but you can also meet your mate doing other activities or other avenues. And I think that we should always be open to that. And I want to say this also, I like the idea of us doing a lot of different socials across the country, because it gives us more opportunities. The more, you're not going to meet your mate just sitting at home by yourself. You got to get out there. And I'm not saying chase people down, but I'm saying put yourself in a situation, put yourself in a position where you're going to meet people. And the more socials we have, the more opportunities we'll have to meet people. So I hope that answers the question.
It absolutely does. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, sister. I'm so glad you said that, because sometimes I feel like people are thinking the Savior's Day is our social time, but quite honestly, we're all working Savior's Day. Exactly. We're all on post. That is a time where we are working our faith, the mission, and it's not really an opportunity to socialize. So I'm so glad you said that part. My question for you, Sister Ati, is that you have hosted so many successful single socials. I'm really just curious to know, which one is your favorite that you have hosted, and why is it your favorite? And I'm going to go on mute because I'm still at the hospital and there's a little bit of background noise. So I'm going to go on mute to hear your answer. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You know what? Each one was special in its own right. I can't really say that there was a favorite one. All of them were special because we tried to, first of all, we held the retreats in various different regions. We didn't quite get to the 7th region, but not that we didn't want to, but I have to say that we got the central region, the western region, southwest, the South and Atlanta. We did the Mid-Atlantic. I think that's was that North Carolina? Was that Mid-Atlantic? I think at that time it was.
Yeah.
We didn't get to the 7th, and we didn't get to the East. But I would have to say all of them are special in their own way. And the reason why is because we got a chance to connect with the various different laborers around the country. Because like I said, one of the things that we were interested in doing was building relationships among the laborers, among the believers. That's what it was all about. So we got a chance to interface with a lot of the laborers, the local laborers, regional laborers, and even some of the national laborers, and just trying to build those relationships. And then also just being able to see the character of different cities and meeting the different believers. So everyone had a different, something that special thing about it. So I was going to, can I do a shout out? If I could do a shout out.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Platform.
Shout out to Chicago, right?
I was actually about to say,
I'm here.
I was about to say the Southwest region. Southwest region. Student Minister Abdul Halim Muhammad. And I have to also give a shout out to Atlanta. Well, I have to give a shout out to everybody, but because, like I said, the student ministers that we interface with, they were wonderful in so many ways. So, like I said, I do have to say, 2006, we were in Hiawassee, Georgia. That's way up north. One thing that stood out about that one is that we did the Sweat Lodge, and I don't know if any of you were there. Any of you were there? We did the Sweat Lodge, and I learned about the Sweat Lodge from our beloved sister Juanetta Lone Wolf back in the early, the 80s. May Allah be pleased with her. And doing the Sweat Lodge, that was a really spiritual experience for a lot of the believers who had never done it before. That was maybe my 5th Sweat Lodge. So, but it was a very, very spiritual experience. If you've never done it, I definitely recommend doing the Sweat Lodge. It's a Native American tradition, and it's definitely, that was something that stood out for a lot of people. But all of them were special in their own way.
Thank you.
All praise is due to Allah. Okay, my dear sister Ati. My question is this, based upon your extensive experience in this area, what would you say are some good preparatory steps that one should take to prepare for courtship?
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. I would say number one is be very, very clear about your values. Be very, very clear about where you are going in life. Because if you get with somebody who's going the opposite direction, I don't care how good a brother or sister they are, you're going to be traveling apart. So you should know, where am I going in life? What do I want to accomplish in life? Do I need to be in a specific geographic area to accomplish what I want to accomplish? That's very important. I would say also, if you got issues, iron out your issues. Because you should not try. If you carry in a bunch of baggage into a relationship, a courtship, first of all, it'll blind you to seeing that person. If you are looking through the lenses of trauma,
right.
If you are looking through the lenses of unsettled past emotional problems and whatnot, you're going to bring that into your courtship. You're not going to see that person as they are, because you're looking at them through the lenses of something that's unsettled, something that needs to be solved first. And I was just reading about that prior to coming on, and that was, be very aware of not only your conscious mind, but your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind drives the things that you do on a conscious level. And if your subconscious mind is not cleared of dross or the past trauma,
Mm.
then you're bringing a bunch of baggage into a relationship, and that's not fair to you, number one, but it's also not fair to that person that you're going to be in courtship with. The last thing is, and this is something that Mother Tanetta drilled to us at that very first retreat. She said, make sure that you have a relationship with Almighty God Allah. If your relationship with Almighty God Allah is not tight, you are going to bring that. It's just not going to be good. Okay. So make sure that there is no doubt in your relationship with Almighty God Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad.
That part.
Be very, very clear on your on God. I mean, that's your base. If you don't have anything, you got to have that.
That's
so
right.
Those are the things that I would say. So you can be very well-meaning, good brother, good sister, but again, you guys, you got to have the same kind of have the same goals, of things that you want to accomplish in life. So, and also, as I said in the beginning, Allah is interested in building a nation of gods. Are you both on that same page? If somebody is and somebody's not, gonna have some problems. So,
thank you.
Praise
Thank you. Beautiful response.
Excellent.
Praise be to Allah.
Praises be to Allah.
Sister Felicia said that part.
Praise be to Allah.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, I'm gonna add to Sister Felicia that part right there.
Right there.
Praise be to Allah.
So as I was talking about how beautiful and how so inviting those retreats were, whatever happened to those retreats, that you hosted in the nation? I mean, because it was one of those things, and not to say that I want to get married, but it was like that was like the next Savior's Day, right?
No.
That people was like, I'm going to the retreat, but you married, but I'm gonna be a hostess or something. I just got to be with the believers, right? So,
yes,
but
ma'am.
whatever happened to those retreats?
Yes, ma'am. Well, I was told after we did the last one virtually because of COVID, I think that was 2020, I think 2021. I can't remember. It was one of those years. After that, the Shura Council was put in place, and they asked us to stop. And so I'm not really clear on the reason why, except for that they did inform me that they would be coming up with something, I guess, that would facilitate singles meeting. So that's all I can say. So we hear and obey, and so that's what happened. So inshallah, we will be looking to convene a family summit conference, though. That is something that Healthy Relationship Initiative is still have on the list of things to do.
Praises be to Allah. Okay.
When is that happening, Sister Ati? Everybody has their pen, their phone. They're about to put it in the calendar.
Yes, ma'am. I will definitely let you know. Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it here from the Seventh Reading Coalition, Thursday Night Talks. Stay tuned.
Yeah, that was breaking news. I think that was breaking news.
Yes, ma'am.
I think the people overseas even heard that. Was
right.
Like, what? I need to get a flight. Wait a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Praises be to Allah.
Sister Ati, very, very, very important that you mentioned just right now how a person thinks about Allah, what their perspective is on the teachings. Very, very, very important in considering who your mate should be. I mentioned earlier about doing the work, but Friday night self-improvement study circle. Many have said that it is also another excellent opportunity to study the mind of a potential courtmate. And would you advise that maybe we should travel, and that could be an opportunity to find maybe our mate, right there in that study circle? And why don't more of us take advantage of that class?
Yes, sir. Well, first of all, I can't speak for why more don't take advantage of the Friday night. I can't, but I think it's a good idea to travel. You will definitely put yourself in a position to meet more people, particularly if you're single, and maybe you're at a small mosque or a small study group, or everybody's married at your study group or your mosque. And maybe there aren't people maybe coming in the mosque, but maybe you just haven't found your helpmeet in that particular study group or mosque where you're at. So I think travel is a good idea, and it's a good idea. But I don't think that we should get like desperate, like, oh, okay. I heard Atlanta got a bunch of single believers. I'm going. Ooh, I gotta get on an airplane. I gotta get on a plane. So I don't think that we should be driven by desperation. But I do believe that travel is a good idea. I mean, I grew up just in a family where we traveled. I mean, we didn't come from a family of means, but I mean, I'm telling you, we would jump in that car and just go. So I do think travel is a good idea, but I think, again, not with a mind of desperation, but with the mind of maybe, I want to visit a mosque, a study group over here. I think it's a good idea to, before you get there, plan it out so that, maybe talk to the sisters in charge, or you might have friends in a particular city. Make it so that when you do go there, that maybe some kind of social is arranged so that when you come, you get a chance to meet people. I wouldn't advise it you just gonna go and you show up at the study group or the Sunday meeting and something's gonna magically happen. You're gonna look at him, he's gonna look at you, and bang, come on. I think it should be some kind of planned thing. And I remember, coming up in the mosque on this side, a lot of us, this is particularly when I was in Phoenix, me and I was a student Vanguard captain at the time, and we would take trips all the time. We called them girlfriend trips. So, and we would one of the places that we loved to visit was a mosque in Los Angeles. It was a lot of young believers there at that time. And we would just go, we would of course let the brothers and sisters in charge know that we were coming. And I remember we had a great time, so I think we need to build that kind of camaraderie. I'm not going to assume that that's not going on, but right. If it's not going on, visiting different mosques, going as a group and planning things with each other, I think we need to do more of that. And of course, do it right where we are, but traveling is always a good idea. Just have a plan. That's all just put it out there. Just have a plan so that when you do go, you make it worth your while.
That's an excellent point, my sister. And there is an excellent point in the comments that this Indigo Dolphin, some believers live in rural areas where the nearest mosque is 50 miles away. Traveling at evening, night may not be a top option. Agreed.
You said that it may not be an option to travel. Is that
at night? That's what this particular person's making.
Travel at night?
50 miles or more away.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, that's why I'm saying that I would not, particularly in these times, I would be very hesitant to like get in your car and you're gonna go and drive and
just show up.
Our people are being harassed and stopped and all kind of things on the road. So security has to be of the utmost if you're going to travel. Of course, there's more risk if you're driving by car than flying. In terms of we always have that risk. It's always in the back of our head being stopped by the police. So stuff like that, you got to keep in mind. So security has to be of the utmost, but still, if you're at a rural mosque, you're far away, and you want to visit some believers, I would, if you can't drive, then fly. I mean, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. But
Right.
I think I heard if I heard your full question, brother, was the person concerned about driving? Was that what it was?
That wasn't a question. That was what the person did comment. Sister Musina here says, I don't live in a rural area, but my travel is 1.5 hour drive, 74 miles each way. I choose not to travel late night. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's smart. I mean, I wouldn't do that either. So,
Right.
right. I mean, in a situation like that, if you want to visit a different mosque or whatever, I would, save up and fly. So,
Or if they do travel by car, then they just plan to stay there overnight at a nearby hotel so then they can leave in the morning or some daylight hours so they're not driving at night. Like there's a way
absolutely.
to do this, and there are plenty of places if you book ahead of time just for one night that's economical, and won't, kill break the bank, so they say. So, yeah, it could be done, or
Absolutely.
like sister you said, or a plane ticket as well. But I
Mhm.
do love what you said, Sister AT, because we have to get to know each other. We're supposed to become friends of one another.
That's
Right.
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 So
That's
how
right.
do we do that, as it says in Holy Quran, if we're not even meeting one another? So we should travel our nation. There's some beautiful, beautiful believers at all our mosque and study groups, and we should get a chance to try to get to know them. With that said, you've had a lot of experience on the subject and activities for singles. But one of the things you did, I think, through the Healthy Initiative that I was so impressed by is your project or creation of an NOI singles app. I'm not sure if that's still in existence, but can you share success stories from the implementation of that project? Is it still in existence? If it's not, do you plan on or have plans to bring it back? But I thought that was so creative and using technology to help believers meet each other as well. So thank
Yes,
you. And I'm going to go on mute since I'm still in the hospital. Thank you.
yes, ma'am. I'm going to give that credit to Sister Courtney. Sister Courtney's been on the
Mr.
team since
Courtney.
almost the beginning.
Sister
Sister
Courtney.
Courtney is a techie, a very, very talented sister.
She
She's
is.
the one who put that together. And I can't remember, somebody helped her. Oh, forgive me. I can't remember who helped her, but Sister Courtney is that came from her. She's from we're Greensboro, North Carolina. So
Yeah,
Right.
give
yeah,
Sister Courtney a shout out.
yeah.
It needs to be right now. I can't say when it'll be up again. One thing that she was working on was it was needed to be updated because we had a lot of believers. Some believers had met and some got married, and so we needed to purge out those believers who were married and kind of redo. And then we also had to find a different platform. We were using a platform, and I think that the website got so many hits. They raise your price. I don't know if they raise your price based on how many visitors you get, but so it's some of those technical things that needed to be redone, and also clearance from national. So that's where that stands right now. But yes, ma'am, I thought it was a great idea that she came up with, and we got some great participation. So um, one of those things on that
Allah.
to-do list.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. And congratulations, Sister Courtney. Yes, we know her.
Absolutely.
Brilliant sister.
Yeah,
And that's excellent.
that's
Thank
my
you.
Right.
riding. That's my bike riding partner.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, she come to
Yeah, she's
Jacksonville, and we get on our bicycles and we ride for hours and miles.
mhm.
That's my girl.
She helped us tremendously here in Jacksonville when
Yes, she
Sister
did.
Angela put on a retreat here. I was in a technical bind, and Sister Courtney came to the rescue. So, again, wonderful sister.
right.
So,
Yes.
I want to ask the next question, Sister AT, and it's kind of made me think about this question as I looked at the subject of our tonight's talk. In your in your view, how do we determine the characteristics of our divine match?
When you say how do we determine the characteristics, are you saying how do we know that this person has the characteristics that makes them our match?
Well, before I even meet the person, say I'm trying to make a list of the person that I feel is the match for me.
Okay.
But wow, before even meeting them, how did I come up with that list if I were to do that?
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. You know what? That list is important. I would recommend everybody make a list. You know, my father said once, he said, write, because writing helps refine your thinking. I wrote a list and my list worked. I wrote a list of exactly what I was looking for. And I'm telling you, lists it's kind of like a tool of, for those of you who are into law of attraction, it is a tool of attraction. But before you even write your list and you are looking for a certain type of person, make sure that you are what you're looking for. But when you write out your list, it's important to be very detailed. Number one, you should write out what physical attributes you prefer. You don't want to be stumped on that, because sometimes your mate may come in a different package than what you're looking for. But at least make out a preference. Just write it down. Write down your age range that you're looking for. Write down what kind of personality are you looking for. Are you looking for a serious person, a calm, laid-back person, a life of the party person? You should write that down. Write down something about the educational background. And I don't mean necessarily like this person has a degree and this person doesn't have a degree, but you should be some kind of match intellectually. Or that person should be striving to be where you are. This is these are compatibility factors. You should write down, where is this person? Where do you all want to live? Where are you willing to live? Because sometimes we meet people long distance and where we're going to live becomes an issue. So you have to be very clear on, am I willing to move? If I'm willing to move, what cities or what states am I okay with living in? I mean, you might meet somebody from Montana. Are you willing to move to Montana? So things like that you have to be very clear about. Compatibility factors also include children. Do you want more children? Do you want children, period? How many? When? What is each other's stories? Because when I look at my husband, our stories kind of start the same. I mean, in terms of when he tells the story of his life, I tell the story of my life. We find that we're not twins, but we kind of match in a lot of crucial areas. Somebody who has a story that's diametrically totally different from your story, when you come together, where do you find the compatibility? So I think knowing each other's stories is very important. Not that that's a factor that's going to cancel that person out.
Right.
It may not cancel them out, but at the same time, you should still know each other's story. The other thing is, wow, I should have brought my list with me, but anyway, those are some of the factors that you should look at when you're making your list. Your list should be as descriptive as possible. It should be as detailed as possible. And you should have as many factors of compatibility as possible when you write out your list. So I hope that kind of helps. It helps answer that question. And, there's a book. I cannot remember the name of it, but I think the name of it is, I'm almost sure it's called 24 Factors of Compatibility. I believe that's the name of it. I would have to dig it up. I have it somewhere, but there are many books written on compatibility factors. I would look that up, and you can look that up online too, and just look up what are some of the compatibility factors that I should be looking for? And Sister Katrina wrote a book about it too, so you can get her book.
Right.
So, but those are important things.
Thank you for the shout out.
But brother, I do think that making a list, being descriptive is important, but don't let some factors you may have some wiggle room in, but you should know what your you should know what your, what is the word?
Criteria.
Katrina, I think it's in your book.
Like balance. What balances
you
you?
should know what your, what was that?
Preference or balance or compatible.
Not that it's,
Compatibility.
you should
Criteria.
know what your what it is that you are absolutely not going to tolerate.
Oh, deal breaker.
Deal breaker.
Right, deal breakers.
Deal breakers.
You should know what your deal breakers are.
For sure.
Because you should know this. I will absolutely. I can't marry a person who has this particular characteristic. You should know what that is, because everybody has a deal breaker. So I'm just saying, you should know what deal breakers are, because some things are, you know, you can be flexible about. And like I said, I once heard the minister say, you know, your mate may not come in the package that you're expecting. So, you know, I do want to point that out. You know, you may have an image of this person, but if they check all the other things off, you know, and you just kind of stuck on, you know, looks, you may be missing somebody who's a great catch. So.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Or I think there was someone that wrote that Montana was a deal breaker. They said no to Montana.
No.
You ain't going to Montana, brother.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, brother said
Absolutely
negative on
not.
Montana.
Found your
Okay,
queen.
brother
But
Yo,
moving to
Liz,
Montana.
queen might be there, brother.
She gonna stay there, I guess.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Sister At.
Yes, sir.
Praises be to Allah. Speaking of,
Sister Kalila, we have a bunch of questions.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you want to go to those questions real quick?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Some of them I need some translation. You know which ones I need help with.
Oh boy.
I know.
Well, I know the very first one. It was a very
No, that one's okay. Yeah.
I'm talking about the one here.
Oh, okay, that one. Okay, go ahead.
The marriage retreat. She was saying, and marriage retreats. Like you, I know that you mentioned courtship retreats, but then also marriage retreats. Is that something also in the future as well?
Well, you know what? When we first started, we were going to do a marriage retreat, but when we found out that Brother Marcus and Sister Cecilia were doing marriage retreats, we supported them. So we didn't feel like there was a need to do, another one. We just felt it was better to throw our support behind what they were doing. But one of the other things that we did have in mind, and which we did do and will continue, is the Family Summit Conference. So, yes, ma'am.
Okay, praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right. What other question do we have? Brother Leon asks, Assalamu alaikum. How do you protect your hopes and dreams that should not be shared with anyone until you bring it into fruition, without holding too much of yourself back from sharing who you are?
Very good
in courtship? Is that in courtship? Well, in courtship, you should share your hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're not giving that person an opportunity for you to see if they are going to support you in your hopes and dreams.
There you go.
So, unless you have you have this real big, gigantic, secret, multi-million-dollar idea that you don't want to tell anybody because you think that they might run off with your idea. Okay, well, that's something. Okay, maybe you can hold that aside, but if you have a certain dream of something that you want to accomplish in life, you need to tell that person. I mean, you need to disclose because if you don't, how will they ever know? And how will you ever know if they can support you? So
And also, Sister AT, like people who have a dream of a certain type of entrepreneurial project,
right.
it takes time to build those
Right.
and make them successful, which means if your partner in life, your helpmeet, assuming this is a brother who asked this, the sisters are the helpmeet, there's going to be a lot required of her to help
Absolutely.
support that dream. And so people need to know, what are
Exactly.
your aspirations? Now, maybe you don't need to share the exact concept, but you should be able to communicate, right? Like
Right.
what industry or what, how can she help you? If she
Right.
doesn't know where you're going, what you're doing, how can she help you? So I love the
Absolutely.
question, but
If
especially
I could
for our
add,
sisters.
Sister Katrina, if I could add, what if it entails traveling a lot, or you're moving potentially to another city? Like you'll be
Exactly.
making buku money, but then that person that you're courting, I'm not ready to move to another city. I don't think I could handle you moving from here to there all over the place. I barely even know you, brother. I barely even know you, sister.
Or the husband is gone, like you said. Let's say it's 7 days in the week. That job or entrepreneurial venture causes that person to have to leave the home 3 or 4 days out of the week. That's
Right.
half the week. People
Absolutely.
need to know what they're signing up for.
Right.
I would think so.
Exactly. You do.
Yeah, and also I
Right,
want to
you-
add too, you got to realize that, I know this is a brother, right?
Oh no,
If you're talking,
she said I'm a
this is
sister.
I'm a
She
sister.
said,
Okay,
I'm a
sister.
sister.
Well,
I'm sorry, I misread your name, Leem Harris.
Lean Harris, Sister
okay.
Lean.
Well, yeah, we're talking about hopes and dreams. I mean, you might have somebody that God has combined you with that has the same hopes and dreams, and it can be on double, baby, double.
Absolutely.
So
Right.
share, but not. I mean, you can share, but you don't have to go in depth with it, right? But I mean, especially if you got a patent, now you don't want nobody to steal your patent, but.
Right.
You might find that person that shares those same sentiments, right? And and just make it happen. He might be the tool of the manifestation that you've been trying to get accomplished since you started your hopes and dreams.
Right.
So
Absolutely. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say the same thing,
yes,
because
ma'am.
he might have an idea like yours, and wow, it could be on and cracking, but
Right. There
not
you
if
go.
you don't, not if you don't disclose. So
Right.
yes.
Yes.
All right. You want to go to some more of the questions?
Yes, yes.
Khalila? Let's
Yes.
go into some more of the questions here. Oh Allah. Let me see. All right. Sister LaShawn. All right. She says here, well, I want to also say how important it is to have your parents' approval, and how did your father, may Allah be pleased, was able to really see you get married before returning to Allah. I think sometimes as people say, we marry people like our parents.
How important is it to have your parents' approval? You know what? I heard Mother Tanetta say that courtship is a family affair. And when you are in courtship, first of all, courtship is private. You don't go announcing it to the whole mosque. Brother Mark is in courtship with Sister So. No, courtship is private. Engagement is public. And when you are in courtship, it's very important to get your parents' approval. Now, I want to just say there is one caveat with that, because suppose you are a striving believer, suppose your parents are not in the nation, and they want you to marry somebody who's not in the nation. You might have, you may have to not seek their blessing if they want something different from you in terms of you as a striving FOI or MGT. So I think with that, say your parents you all have the same value system, same belief system. I believe it's very important to get your parents' approval. And sometimes our parents see things that we don't see. I think that's important to keep in mind, because I'm sure we all know somebody whose parents said to, he or she, they're not marriage material, or I'm sorry, I do not think that that is a person you should marry. I mean, I'm sure we've all been a witness to that, whether it's in our lives or somebody else's life. But I'm trying to make sure I have my thoughts clear on that. My father, thanks to Allah, like I said, he knew my husband, all of their whole family. They all kind of came up together in the nation.
Wow.
In fact, my father brought in my husband's uncle in the nation, and then later on, my husband's parents came into the nation. So that parental approval was pretty much built in because there was a love and a friendship for all of our families, and we are in Phoenix and Texas primarily. So that was a kind of a built-in thing. But in terms of marriage being a family affair, I was reading a book. Golly, I should have brought it with me, but it's in the other room. But in any case, it was about courtship and marriage from a perspective. The sister who wrote it is from the continent, Africa, and I can't remember which country, but she was basically echoing the same thing that I heard Mother Tanetta say, that courtship is a family affair, and that you should bring the person that you want to marry around your family, because when you do, number one, it's hard to put up pretenses when you're around your family.
Right.
When we're in courtship, we put our best foot forward. As I've heard Chris Rock say, when you meet somebody, you meet their representative sometimes.
Right. There you go. There you go.
But it's hard to keep that front up when you're around your family, because they'll be looking at, why are you acting strange? So it's important also for your family to get to know that person, and to kind of, they may see things in that person that you don't see, because maybe you have those rose-colored glasses on. So yes, courtship is very much a family affair. It's because if you decide to get married, you're merging families together. It's not just you as individuals coming together. It's families that are coming together. Sometimes those families already know each other, and that's a good thing. But if you don't, then you're bringing together families. So in that context, I think it's important. So I hope that answered that question.
Yes, ma'am. A lot of questions are rolling in. Do you want to proceed with the questions?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Let's go ahead and do that. All right, Sister Karaya in Chicago. She says, please define what an intentional courtship is. And she says, thank you.
All right.
Intentional courtship is basically when you are, first of all, exactly where you stand, what your values are, where you're going in life. You know what you want to accomplish. You know what you want to accomplish, not only in life, but in marriage. And so you are hopefully going to attract somebody who has the same aim as you do. Intentional meaning the same, with the same aim and objective as you do. You're not just, like I said earlier, you're not just wanting to, like, I've known brothers and sisters who have said, that they, let me put it like this. I remember I had fished in a brother. We both went to college together, and I had, gave him some final calls. He joined the Nation of Islam. We were in different cities, but out of the blue, he was like, I was shocked. He said, well, I think we should get married. And I was like, huh? I was like, what? I mean, I didn't see the brother like that. So, and he was like, you a Muslim? I'm a Muslim. We should get married. I was like, nah. I mean, it's not like that, I mean, but nicely let the brother know that I was not interested in marriage at that time, and that was that. But some people want to get married so bad that they will just settle for anybody just because, okay, you're a Muslim, I'm a Muslim, so I want to get married. You want to get married? Okay, yeah, intentional courtship is that you have a specific aim and goal, and not only in courting this person, but if it leads to marriage, then inshallah, you all will both be on the same track in terms of where your marriage is going, what you hope to accomplish in your marriage. And hopefully part of that objective is creating a nation of gods, as we talked about earlier. So it's not just haphazard. It's not just, we have the same beliefs, so we should get married. And I kind of like you. You look good. Marriage is, courtship is so much more deeper than that.
Sister AT, you made a great bowl of bean soup, so let's just get married.
Right.
What was that?
You made a great bowl of bean soup, so
Right.
That's all.
You make the mothership bean pie.
Oh, how many final calls did you sell, brother?
Right.
Oh, he's a good catch. So, no, you have to look for more than just, okay, she can cook a good bowl of beans, and that brother sold 200 papers in one day. No, it has to be way more than that.
That's right.
In terms of what, compatibility factors.
Good teaching. Sister LaShawn, I'm going to remix her question. I think
It's our co-host.
I think she's asking here if you had something to do with the courtship manual made and approved by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Did I have something to do
with the courtship manual?
Did I have something to do with the?
I guess the assembly of the courtship manual.
Oh, yes. Yes. First of all, let me just say this. The courtship manual, we were asked to not distribute it because it needed to be updated, and things added to it and whatnot. Not that the information in it is wrong, because the information is right and exact. And if you've read it, then you'll see. We have articles from the final call. We have general orders, restrictive laws, various different articles dealing with finance, and just a whole plethora of things. And then there were also, there's a certain section where I interviewed some of the pioneers and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Mother Tanetta, my father. But it does need to be, other things need to be added to it. But how did it come about? It came about after our very first retreat in 2004. Believers had a whole bunch of questions about courtship. I didn't have all the answers. I wrote down their questions, and I said, inshallah, if I get the opportunity, I will ask the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan if he could go over each question and answer those questions. And so it took me, it took me just before our retreat in 2006 in Georgia. I got a chance to meet with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I recorded him. And the basis of the courtship manual came from those questions and answers. So that's how it all started. And it started with those questions and answers. And then, we added more to it, such as information on finances. We added the articles from the final call. We added the restrictive laws. Some of those other things that I mentioned, we added in there. My father's, he wrote, I interviewed him. Some of those things we put in it. So that's how it came about. But like I said, it will be updated. I'm sorry, I cannot give. I've been asked, but I do not have a timetable when it'll be updated. So I'm sorry, I can't tell you when, but that is how it came about.
Thank you, and praise be to Allah. Sister Kalila, we have more questions, but
go ahead. Go ahead.
You want to go ahead and continue with those?
Go ahead,
All right,
brother.
All
go
right.
ahead.
All right. Sister
Keep
Yolanda.
the people happy, Brother Tony. Keep the people happy.
We'll keep them happy. Big smiles on their faces. All right. Sister Yolanda asks, how long should a courtmate wait for you to, quote unquote, get it together?
Ooh, not get it together.
How long should a courtmate? How long should a courtmate wait for you to get it together? I need more information. What do you mean get it together? Do you mean make up their mind, or what does that mean?
Yeah, we need more data.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was that?
We need more data.
We're agreeing with you to asking that person. We need more information. Right.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah.
That sounds like somebody saying, "Get it together, get it."
But if it
know
were a situation of like people in a courtship, and let's say they've been courting a year, let's just say a year, and you have one person who is maybe very interested in getting married, let's say the sister, and it's not our tradition for sisters to propose to the brothers, right? So then if they're like, okay, am I gonna get a proposal here? Like what, like if it's that situation, what would you recommend?
Okay. Yes.
Good question.
Let me see. I was just about to mention something. On the one hand, let me say this. On the one hand, you might be in a courtship with somebody and you feel like they don't have their act together in terms of marriage. Like, I don't know, maybe they don't have a steady job or something if you're a sister. I mean, just as an example. Well, let me say this. Or maybe they have some kind of character thing that they need to work on. Always remember, marry actual facts. Do not marry potential.
Woo! Say that again for the people in the back.
I'm telling you, you cannot. Somebody may have the potential to be something or do something or improve in some area, but potential is a hope. Potential is marry actual facts. If you cannot marry that person as they are, then they are not compatible for you.
Excellent.
I mean, that's just actual facts, right? That's why we got actual facts. We got to deal with facts. We got to deal with truth. Because potential may not ever realize itself. So that's just the bottom line. Especially if, yes, ma'am. If that person is not working on themselves, right. If they're not doing anything to get it together, then what you see is what you get. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that we can't grow. We all have the potential to grow.
Right.
But like I said, if what you see is what you get, that's what you get, and that's what you're gonna get. So on the other hand,
Sister AT, you just broke the internet. You broke the internet. I just was like, marry actual facts, not potential. That was a pin, but that was a drop the mic. Like
make that
right. Actual facts, right? That's why we have our lessons, right?
Make her words go viral.
Yeah, that's on a t-shirt. You can make a lot of money with that. A bumper sticker t-shirt.
Yes, ma'am. But I wanted to say another part of that is, the minister said long courtships are of no value. And you don't need to be in a courtship with somebody 2, 3, 4 years. I mean, a person should know. Let me put it like this. He did say, and you know what? Let me dig it out because I have it. He said he wouldn't put a timeline on courtship.
Come on, sis.
Right. Oh, in the courtship manual.
Brother Michael just posted some eyeballs. He was like,
eyeballs.
He listened.
He
know that was the word right there.
I hope them eyeballs have glasses on them because, baby, let me tell you something.
Very actual facts, not potential. I mean, that's a book title there.
I'm listening right now. I'm getting text messages right now saying, "Oh my, Allah, oh my God,
yes,
go
and long
ahead."
Courtships are of no value.
Make it go
wow. Just let your mind just sit right there on that for a minute.
Just marinate.
Just let it marinate. Oh my goodness. Very actual facts.
Actual
not
facts.
Potential and long courtships are of no value.
We
she just asked if she was still on. She dropped off.
No, she dropped off.
Several dude that did that.
We'll give our sister a minutes to come back on.
Let's give her a few more.
Well, on that note, Sister Kalila.
Yes.
What should we be doing right now?
Oh my God! Yes, we should be. Let me tell you what we should be doing.
What should we be doing right now?
Listen,
if you're
we should be
enjoying
doing
this
this
program, look,
Donate.
we need your support, family. None of us are here getting paid for this. This is a labor
Right.
of love. However, we do have costs to cover. If you would be so generous to make any kind of donation to help us out with our programming, we thank you. We thank you for whatever you're able to donate. And so, with that commercial break, Mr. AT is back.
I'm sorry. I have no idea what happened. But if you permit me, I'll read the minister's words.
Yes, please, please.
You don't need
Absolutely.
permission for that, please.
Okay, he says, how long should the question is, how long should a courtship last? 3 months, 6 months, 1 year? He said, I would not put a timeline on courtship. When we go to court, our aim is to find evidence that either convicts or frees the accused. Long trials are expensive. Long courtships are of no value. Courtship should be only as long as it takes the parties involved to find the necessary truths about each other that either say the courtship should be ended or that the two should become engaged to be married. So that's it. Basically, that's what the answer was. So, but the main thing is that, you know, your courtship should not be dragging on for no years and years, because if it is, then, you know, you probably doing something you shouldn't be doing. So,
Uh-oh.
Actual fact.
Yeah.
That part. Yes, ma'am, Sister AT.
All right, there's some more questions here, and this is not at this point. This is not courtship. This is engagement. You're already like planning for engagement, or you're already engaged. What about prenups?
Okay.
oh my gosh, you know what? I was actually going to study prenups.
Full agreement.
We addressed that too. There was a believer who did a study on that, and they mentioned that the dowry was the prenup. But I'll be honest with you, I don't have.
Let's talk about the diary.
Yeah. So, Sister AT, I don't know if you can hear me, that we do not do dowries, because that is another denomination of Islam where they do that. So that we don't practice that.
Right.
We also don't do prenups. So because we're not supposed to be getting divorced. So so we don't do that. That was my understanding. But I do know that that's popular in the world and people have concerns. So but anyway, I'd love to hear what your research has said on that.
I will definitely. And I'm of the same understanding too. The one thing that I would say is read the Holy Quran in terms of, because the Holy Quran does address marriage separation, divorce, mediating between differences between couples. The Holy Quran does address that. That is something that we can include in the updated version of the manual. But right now, I don't have the full information on that.
Perhaps that could be a question for the Honorable Minister Luz Farrakhan.
Yes, but also the student ministers of the mosque should be clear on that, as they are part of the team for the minister, right? That they should definitely speak with their student minister of their mosque, and they should be able to give them a very clear answer with regards to those two things.
Absolutely.
For actual facts.
Right. Right.
Go ahead,
also in this that courtship manual, prenuptial contracts, what does it say in the Holy Quran? It actually highlights it here in the Holy Quran, Surah 4:4, and it also highlights it as well in Surah 2 verses 236 and 237. In regards to the prenuptial contracts.
Can I make a comment from what Sister Katrina said earlier? I'll be careful using the term denomination. We're in a different circumstance in the West, and Master Fard Muhammad what he came to give us was a new Islam. What the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has given us is a new Islam, and this is continued with the Honorable Minister Luz Farrakhan. And so, what we're being prepared for is to teach the rest of the world what true Islam is. And so I just want
Thank
to make
you for that correction.
yes,
I just didn't really know what to call
right,
the other groups. I know they go by the name Shiite and Sunni, and
right. No, we
and then
don't
there
do
are others or whatever. But
Right.
there are a lot of things that they practice. In the Holy Quran, there it mentions about 4 wives, polygamy. We don't practice that. So I mean, there's it's a lot.
Right.
right, right. All right, let's go ahead and go into this question here. Some of us who are up in age and feel as if they are exempt of having a chaperone. Can you please expound on the importance of
Excellent.
a chaperone? Sister AT, what do you say?
Yes, sir. I think that mainly the chaperone is there. It's there for both persons' protection in terms of their reputation, but I will add this. I know I've heard that in certain cities that there are virtually there's nobody available to chaperone different believers who were in courtship, and I would like to share what I was told. Well, my father told me this, and also other pioneers told me this, that they would meet in a public place and they would both leave separately from where they met. My father told me how, his courtship with my mom, and I've heard of some other brothers and sisters who said similar, that when they were in courtship, that they basically met in a public place.
Praise be to Allah.
So that's how I will answer that. But basically, I do understand what those elder believers are saying, and inshallah, that will be part of the updated part of manual.
Switching over.
AT is changing devices.
Okay, she's switched over. Awesome.
Can I add something or ask about something? Because in that question, I mean, that's unfortunate if there's no one in a city that can help chaperone, not even the student minister and his wife. That would be very, very unfortunate. But
if they're married, if the brother minister is married.
Hopefully, if the brother minister is married. But also just some people in the mindset of I'm grown and we grown and you grown and I'm grown and we don't have to do that and that. Chaperones are for the younger people in their 20s or 30s. No, the chaperones are for everyone. And I have talked to and spoken with some chaperones who were very active in their role of chaperoning and helped the couple, have a good conversation and posed good questions and gave some great advice because they'd been married 30, 40 years. And they really took advantage of that time with the chaperone. I mean, the couple had time with each other, but they also took advantage of the time with the chaperone. So, I think that view of how chaperones are viewed, like somebody's watching over us, we don't need that. Don't look at it like that. I love how you worded and phrased that for your protection, Sister AT, because that's exactly what it is. And we should be willing to study marriages that are, 20, 30, 40, 50-year marriages. I mean, obviously that couple have gone through some trials successfully, and they're still together. And we can learn. Maybe you're looking at them and saying, well, they don't have the best marriage. Well, how do we know? Only Allah knows that. Just try to look at the situation, settle on the best part, right? What we're taught, how to learn from them, regardless of their age, right? I love that you said that, but we should embrace our way because chaperones, that's our way. That is what we do. So we should embrace it and be glad and happy about having a chaperone as opposed to why do we have to have one? Like we need to be real careful with that. Go ahead, Sister AT.
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to just bouncing off of what you just said. One thing about chaperones that a lot of us people weren't clear on, chaperone doesn't have to be right there with you For example, say you all go out to a restaurant or something, they don't have to be at the same table as with you. Okay, that's
right.
just one example, because you're not going to have probably a free flow of conversation or whatever. So, and then on the other hand, I wanted to just share something that, gosh, how did he say this? Uh, brother, our beloved brother Rasul.
Yes,
May Allah be pleased with him. He's
yes,
my big brother. Um, he said we would have these conversations a lot. And one of the things that he mentioned was going back to the idea of courtship being a family affair, and how it's important that, you may spend, you may go out, like we just mentioned, you may go out to a restaurant or something and your chaperone is in the background or whatever. But it's also important to have, getting to know each other within the context of family members, of friends. Because like I said, a lot of times you get to know the real person when you're in social, surroundings where you're interacting with other people.
right.
You don't always get to know, that person. Like I said, you're oftentimes we put our best foot forward. But when you're in a social context, you get to see how that person interacts with other people on a different level than you would with them by themselves.
Mhm.
And I'm not, both are valuable in terms of how you interact, but I'm just saying that, the courtship process, um, this is what Brother Rasul said. He said, in terms of courtship being a family affair, and in terms of people, um, he said, oftentimes what we should do is, oh goodness, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get it the way he said it. I'm trying to
Yes, ma'am.
capture the spirit in which he was saying it. Um, it was basically that when we're in a group of people, well, I'm not going to go there because I want to say it the way he said it. But one of the things that we got into was our children coming up and being able to find marriageable or compatible, um, people that they can later marry. And we talked about importance of Muslim children, or just your children getting to know each other as they're growing up.
Yes.
That is a form of courtship. That's what he said, because they're getting to know each
Mm.
other in an environment where you're surrounded by family, friends. They're getting to know each other. Their parents know each other. Their parents know both of the children, and so when they grow up, you have a pool of marriageable, hopefully compatible people, and that's the context in how I was able to, um, when my husband and I, that was the context in which we grew up. We grew up in the nation, went to the Muslim school together. We had outings together, roller skating. I mean, just growing up, we did things together as families.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
their family was, very close knit. Ours was close knit. Their cousins and whatnot in Phoenix. I mean, we just all kind of came up together. So it was kind of like a natural fit later on when my husband and I met and married, because there were certain things about them that I already knew, and vice versa. His parents knew my parents, and vice versa. So, it's, that's a form of chaperoning within the concept of getting to know people. I hope that's clear. So I didn't mean to belabor the point, but
Beautiful.
No, it's okay. I was about to ask Brother Tony to start speaking some Spanish, since Student Minister Rasul, may Allah be pleased with him, spoke Spanish, and he was going to come back to you and then ask Brother Mark to jump on the piano,
That's
start singing
hilarious.
or something,
That is hilarious.
and then it would come back to you. I love Minister Rasul. He was my first minister in the nation.
Oh,
All praises
yeah.
to the
mine too.
Allah be
Miss
You're
him.
mine.
Woo, many, many,
Love you
many.
forever.
Yeah,
Yes.
at Muhammad Mosque #1 in Detroit. Yep.
Oh wow.
Well,
Yeah, I
sister,
miss them.
Yes.
we have 3 more questions from the audience here.
Mhm.
Sister Leem says, "Dear sister, what can you say to some women who have struggled all their single parent lives with children and may not want to struggle again with a mate after their children are grown. Is
Ooh.
marriage better for the man?
I wouldn't. Is marriage better for the man? No, I would not say so. Marriage is good for all of us. Marriage is a means by which we complete half our faith
That's right.
in Islam. So marriage is better for both of us. Marriage strengthens
The
a
right
society.
marriage.
Marriage is the basis of a civilization.
Right. The right
There
marriage.
is no
Yeah.
strong nation if you don't have strong families and strong marriages. Now, if a person decides after, I mean, it is your choice if you want to be married or not. I mean, nobody can force you to be married. The person says who may not want to struggle again with a mate after their children are grown. There's nothing wrong with you having a preference to be single. I mean, it's nobody can force you. There's no restrictive law that says you must be married. There isn't, but we do know that marriage is the glue that holds a society or a civilization together. But at the same time, we do have free will that nobody can force you to be married if you don't want to be married. So marriage, hopefully that, if it sounds like that's a kind of a loaded question. There's a whole lot in there. It sounds like
You know what I
somebody
saw, Sister
been
AT?
supported.
I also
Pardon
saw,
me?
Sister AT, I also saw in that question someone saying that now they're an empty nester, their children are grown, and so then marry someone else who's an empty nester, and their children are grown. And so then what you talked about earlier about having similar stories. So now you all have a similar story,
That's
as
true.
opposed to your children are grown and maybe there's a struggle with regards to that person saying, I don't know if I want to marry a brother that has small children because my children are grown. Maybe
Right.
maybe that isn't for you, right?
Mhm.
And you need to find someone you're compatible with that has a similar story, like Sister AT talked about earlier, that's also retired or their children are out of the home or in college and they're empty nesters. Yeah, I mean, it's finding someone for you, right? But
Right.
that's true what you said, sister, because some people marry, maybe they feel forced to marry, and maybe they should not be married because there's a lot of, and that would be my
Right.
question for you. What is it that makes someone marriage material? Because from what I have heard from a lot of people I have interviewed, is that you really have to have a lot of patience and that marriage challenges you in that area and you need to be
Right.
able to compromise. So if you
Right.
don't have those two characteristics in terms of patience and compromise, then marriage may not be for you right now until you
Right.
develop that, because you're going to be constantly on a treadmill of patience
Mhm.
and compromise.
Right.
But I'd like to know,
That's
how long
marriage.
have you been
Right.
married? How long have you been married, Sister AT? And do you
Ma'am, we
agree?
got married in 2009. And
Okay.
one of the biggest things of marriage is it's not about me, it's about us. And it's
Right.
about us all the time.
Right.
And it's not about now that doesn't mean that you lose yourself, you lose your goals, the things that you want to accomplish in life. Those are things hopefully that you all talked about during courtship. But I remember there was a situation where my husband was struggling with something, he needed help, and I was like, my first mind was like, okay, that's your problem. I'm just being honest with you. I'm being honest with you. And then my other mind said, okay, you married. If his ship sinks, you going down too.
Oh,
So I was like, okay, my good instincts kicked in, and I was all in. But like I said, the number one, yes, ma'am. If his ship goes down, you're sinking too, and vice versa. That's
That's right.
marriage. Okay, so you have to be at that level in your life where you are willing to be 100% committed to that person,
Wow.
because sometimes in marriage you're going to have some rough times.
Right.
But when you have those rough times, that's when commitment kicks in. That's when duty kicks in.
Right.
And that's the thing that helps you sail through the hard times, and of course with faith as well, and patience. But absolutely, that's a big part of marriage. It's we. It's no longer just me.
Yeah. And too, I want to add, because that question also too, it seems, and I can be wrong, but it seems like it's coming from experience, some type of experience, whether it's her personally
Right.
or whether what she has saw outside of it. And especially when you're at, up in age, and you have um developed this peace
Right.
within, right?
Hmm.
You want somebody to match that piece.
Right.
And that's why it's important for intentional courtship, because right now I am in making an attempt to
Right.
also develop what I've already established within myself, and that's peace.
Hmm.
So if you're
Exactly.
talking about a marriage, that's better, um, is marriage better for the man? Well, the thing is marriage better for the woman?
Right.
Because if you have established this peace within yourself, you want to be able to identify a channel that peace within somebody who you're seeking.
Right. Hmm.
So listen, empty nesters are, listen, I have been around a lot of single sisters that are empty nesters, and they like, hey, if you can't establish this, or you can't, add to this,
Hmm.
then there's a chance, like you said, Sister At, that, I'm just going to take a back seat on this marriage thing, and, and just kind of allow, a lot to take, control of it. But again, we don't believe in no mystery God. And
No.
Hmm.
then back to
Teach on
what we're
that.
saying in regards to marriage, marriage is half of our faith.
Hmm.
So if we're going to identify, the marriage being better for the man or vice versa, we have to identify what is better for Allah.
Hmm. Right.
What is the secret
Exactly.
ingredients for Allah?
This is
Hmm.
Kalila. Sometimes we have to make the rational decision in our minds that I want to heal. I'm dealing with
Yeah,
pain from
yeah,
previous marriages, previous relationships, but I have to make the decision to heal because Allah has somebody out there designed for me. But I have to make the decision in my mind that it is an actual fact.
yes.
Right. Hmm. And I know some elders who are in the Nation of Islam, and even some who are not, and they they may be widows or widowers. They don't want to get married again, and I respect that as their choice. Um, Especially when they figure, you know what, I feel like I'm in my last golden years, and I want to spend that time with myself in communion with the God.
Mm,
And I believe, you know, there is no compulsion in Islam. Um, and the best that we can do as a community is to support their decision, but also to be a support for that brother or that sister,
Right.
because
mm.
they may be up in age.
That's
They
right.
have no intention of getting married again, but they may need support in other areas of their lives. And so that's where the community should wrap their arms around that person, whether it's helping in terms of providing a social environment, because a lot of our seniors get lonely. I've heard
Mm,
that from a lot of our seniors, and they're not looking to get married, but they are looking to be a part of a vibrant community that, cares about them. So
That's right.
I think those are things that we do need to look at as well. So,
Can I also say one last thing? I met and interviewed some people that had maybe a bad marriage and divorced, whatever, and then they remarried. And that new marriage, like, was totally something that they weren't expecting it to be so good, that
mhm,
they have said, wow, that person was a blessing to me. I didn't know that this is how good marriage could be until
right,
I married this, my second husband or
mhm,
my second wife. And so, just not
right,
like we talked
mhm,
about earlier, clearing that baggage up or
mhm,
whatever, pain the person may have had from something previous, getting
Right.
audited. That was a tool the minister gave us with Dianetics to make sure we clear that up before we
Right.
move into something new.
Mhm.
Because, I mean, you just never know. I've met some sisters that's like, oh my goodness, this brother, I mean, talk about secure me, take care of me, maintain me in terms of my mental, my spiritual, waking up for prayer. So, I mean, there are good brothers out here. There are
Right.
good sisters out here that we can
Absolutely.
be good for each other. So I
Mhm.
just tell people, don't give up, right?
Right.
So you choose not to marry because you're a widow or you're older and you're like done. Okay.
Mhm.
But if you choose not to marry because you're scared of getting hurt again, or because you had a bad previous experience, that may not be the best reason not to move forward. We
Right.
should fear nothing and no
Mhm.
one but Allah, right?
Mhm.
That's something that we're taught and trained. So we
Mhm.
have to deal with that, right? Because you could be basically hurting yourself from a blessing that's
Exactly.
out there. That yes, that second marriage or third marriage could be so much better than what you ever even imagined or experienced. You just have to trust in Allah in the process and get
Right.
healed. So
Mhm.
thank you for saying that earlier when we first started this conversation.
No, that's you're right on point, because I believe it, you know, like you said, your first marriage may not have been ideal, but both of you may not have been ready and prepared for marriage, and as a result, the marriage didn't turn out the way you had hoped that it would. But hopefully, you're now in a much more better place, a much more mature place, and you've learned from that experience. And like the sister said, you've cleared away all of the baggage from that experience. And if you are, hopefully, you should be open up your heart to be able to experience something new. But you'll only experience something new if you are open to something new. And He, Allah, makes all things new. But first, the old has to be cleared away before the new can be introduced.
Praise be to Allah. We have some
Praise be
more
to Allah.
questions, but we're not going to have time
Right.
for the questions tonight. Sister Kalila.
Yes. So
Wait, is that a part two? We ran out of time. We have more questions. That's a part two.
listen,
Uh-oh.
that-
Wait a minute.
Would
only-
you
It's
not
not just
open to a
it's
part
not just student minister Willie that gets a part two. The sisters can get a part two also.
That's
Go
right.
ahead, Sister AT.
Sister AT, if you will
Need
be
that.
honored for us, you know, to bless us again for
Parte
part
dos.
2,
My honor,
because
sis. That would be my honor.
Do.
praise
Allah
Praise
Akbar.
be
to Allah. Praise
And this will be the expansion of our relationship series.
Yes.
Kalila,
Yes,
let's do it.
Yes, sir.
You heard it here first on Thursday Night Talk.
yes, praise.
Yes, sir. Thank you all for the opportunity. Praise be to Allah.
Look, the people are happy. Someone said, "Praise be to Allah." You gotta make the
Encore,
people happy.
encore, yeah.
Look, Sister Lean, thank you. You gotta make the people happy.
Encore.
Yes, give them what
And
they
we
want.
will definitely on part 2, we will address these particular questions for Sister AT when she returns, inshallah, on part 2 as well. So with that being said, just like we said before, we need your help.
That's right.
And
Beloved family.
yes, go ahead.
You know, and anything that you were able to donate so that we could continue these beautiful programs and help guide our people to safety in this hour of uncertainty, building necessary relationships, building courtships, developing healthy marriage and family initiatives. These are especially important in the idea and concept of saving lives. If you're able to donate something tonight or whenever you can, we would greatly appreciate it. You make your Cash App donation to $7th Region Coalition 29. Any amount would be good. We will not refuse a large amount. We're just going to put it to good use. And if you send a small amount, no amount is too low. We thank you for whatever you're able to give. May Allah continue to bless you all and your families.
Praises be to Allah. And Sister AT, do you have any contact information that if someone wants to get in contact with you in regards to any future events, do you have anything available to give to the audience?
You know what? At this point, I can give my direct. Well, I'm on Instagram. My Instagram is AT Fan Club, ATI Fan Club, all one word. Or my email address. I'm sure I will. Email is the best way to reach me. My email is IAMF as in Frank REE the number 4 life LIFE. I am free for life at gmail.com. So that's probably the best way to reach me. And then also on Instagram too. I'm on Facebook, but I'm just not on Facebook that much. So those are the 2 best ways.
Praises be to Allah. All right.
Can you put that email in the chat, Sister Keela?
Yes.
And also the Instagram. Sister AT said you can catch me on the gram.
Right.
Go ahead, Sister AT. Down to modern times.
Definitely email. Definitely email. In fact, I would say email first, Instagram second. So.
And wouldn't it be nice for those of you who are scheduling some type of singles event to have Sister AT come as a guest? That would be awesome. Just putting that out there. Hint, hint.
Praises be to Allah. I am putting that in just a moment. Bear with me. Let's see. Free for life.
So fast.
It did.
Yeah.
Yes, when you're having fun. This is awesome. Great show. And thank you to everyone who tuned in. We're looking at your comments. Thank you so much. It matters a lot that you all are taking time out of your day, time you won't get back to participate in this show. So thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Praise be to Allah. I had a great time. Thank you all, and thank everybody who tuned in.
Yeah.
Praises be to Allah. All right. With that being said, we can close out. Stay tuned to our next week show.
Inshallah, God willing.
That's right.
We're piling it up. We're piling it up. We're piling it up.
We continue our relationship series next week, beloved family. Be sure to tune in. May Allah continue to bless you all and your families. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Buenas noches.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam.